Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I wonder how, Mr. Heller, that you can justify standing behind a president that calls other nations that are less fortunate than us with, he said, S-hole nations. Also, some of the disparaging remarks he has said against women, as in the case of what he said on that bus, and calling a lot members of the press losers, some of the most respected news agencies, including the BBC, the New York Times, calling them fake news and losers. I mean, how do you stand behind a man like that?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, Lynn, you probably stood behind some of the Democratic presidents that had similar problems, and I don't excuse any of these activities and these actions, but I certainly had to have conversations with my daughters when Bill Clinton was doing his activities in the White House also. So there's no purity test here. What I'm trying to do is get issues done. That's what I'm looking for, is what's best for the state of Nevada. And whether I'm standing behind the president or whether I'm standing in right field doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter. What does matter is that we are getting things done and pushing to get things done here in Washington, D.C. that affect individuals. So we can go back to the campaign. We can take another look at this campaign, but it's not going to make any difference. And people continue to act like this campaign is moving forward. And right now, Donald Trump is president of the United States, and he's going to be president of the United States for 3 more years. I do believe I have an obligation as a representative from the state of Nevada is to work with every president, and I've worked with 3 so far. President Bush, President Obama, and President Trump. And when they're pushing issues and policies that I can agree with, then I will support. And in this case, with this piece of legislation, I did support giving tax relief to 90% of America to lower a lot of the regulations that small businesses have. And frankly, the key is we're going to start, I believe, regulating bureaucrats back here in Washington, D.C. Let's start regulating bureaucrats instead of over-regulating small businesses. And I think we're able to accomplish that to some people's satisfaction, to others that is not as satisfying. But I believe that the country is moving in the right direction. I believe we're above, 27,000? 27,000 in the Dow. We're making great progress when it comes to individuals, their retirements, their pensions, and trying to make sure that individuals from the state of Nevada have a better life and better opportunities in the future. That's the goal. I'm not going to relitigate over and over and over the last election. It's over. We have a president, and my job and obligation when I agree with the policy is to support that president. And I certainly did at the end of the year when we got that tax package through. So anyway, Len, that's how I feel, and I hope you can come on board. Let's move forward and go